the record option so you can hit the button. All right. So let's go ahead and find a seated position on our mat. I want to turn up my volume because I recognized it was really low. All right, find a position on your mat. And if you have your blanket, as always, I'd love to have that height underneath us. And then for today, we're going to do our double pigeon. So let's bring that right leg on the bottom, left leg on top. If this feels really uncomfortable for you, just find an easy cross. So that ankle is stacked above the knee to whatever degree feels right. And you might need to come to the front edge of your mat. So just the back of your hips are seated on it. And then let's move the fluff out from underneath our bottom. And just start to bring ourselves here. Some of us are just waking up. So just draw those shoulders around the ears, just bringing you into your body. And then allow those shoulders to draw down and back. And maybe you do that again a time or two, bringing them in and then drawing them down and back. And as you feel your seat land on the earth, just start to imagine those roots are beginning to spread as you feel your tailbone and seat bones root in, as well as the outer leg that's touching the earth. And just inviting all parts of yourself that have shown up this morning to just land and be here now. And just allow your breath to just center you and anchor you here. And perhaps you begin to direct that breath in and out through the nose. And even just lengthening that exhale just a little bit. So I wanted to start with this reading this morning from the Book of Awakening. That was just, it was powerful as we're beginning to cultivate our awareness. And I'll get into the Yoga Sutras with that this week on Tuesday. So today is the spaces in between. There's no need to seek the truth. Just put a stop to your opinions. That's by sang songs. So just as life is made up of day and night, and song is made up of music and silence, friendships, because of this world, are also made up of times of being in touch and spaces in between. Being human, we sometimes fill these spaces with worry, or we imagine the silence comes as a form of punishment. Or we internalize the time we are not in touch with a loved one as some unexpressed change of heart. And our minds work very hard to make something out of nothing. We can perceive silence as rejection in an instant and then build up a cold castle on that tiny imagined brick. The only release from the tensions we weave around nothing is to remain a creature of the heart. By giving voice to the river of feelings as they flow through and through, we can stay clear and open. In daily terms, we call this checking in with each other, though most of us reduce this to a grocery store list. How are you today? Do you need any milk or eggs, juice, or even toilet paper? Though we can help each other survive with such outer kindnesses, we help each other thrive when checking in with each other, as it comes from the list of inner kindnesses. How are you today? Do you need any affirmation, clarity, support, or understanding? When we ask these deeper questions directly, we wipe our mind clear of its misperceptions. Just as we must dance our belongings from time, just as we must dust our belongings from time to time, we must wipe away what covers us when we are apart. So in these moments, before we start to move, begin to just sit in this stillness and contemplate what these statements mean to you. And perhaps even speak them out to a loved one after you move out of this class. I appreciate you and your heart. I want the channel of heart to be wide open between us. I make a promise to you that if misunderstandings or conflicts should grow between us, I will share them with you directly and not let them build or grow in a hidden way. And I would count the same promise from you as a blessing. And as we keep the channel of our heart wide open today, just start to breathe in what your intention is, your mantra is, whatever that is for you today. As we all practice being still and knowing that I am God, from Psalm 46:10. So just releasing the cervical spine. Let's slowly tuck our chin to our chest as we just breathe in that smiley face to our heart with the wide open channel of our heart to receive the love that we freely give to others this morning. And now still the head and draw the head up. And as the head comes over the heart, just slowly inhale the arms up and then soften the right hand to meet the earth and reach over. And then inhale, reach high, and then soften the left hand down as you feel the side body and the side of the heart expand. And now inhale, rise, just slowly revolve to one side. And today your mantra could be, I open the channel of my heart. And now inhale, rise, slowly exhale, revolve the other way. So if you have blocks and you wish to use blocks, you may want to bring them to the front of you as we unwind. So coming back to the front and then soften the hands down. We're just going to take that gentle fold forward. You may want your blocks in front of you to rest your forearms on, but fold wherever you want and what feels right. And maybe spread those fingers wide here. And gently just shake that head out, maybe no, shake it out, yes, whatever feels right. And really direct your breath through those outer hips, because I know those hips can be tight, especially when we're doing this double pigeon. So just breathe into those outer hips. And as you're here folded forward in this bowing posture, just breathe in, I open the channel of my heart. Feeling the back of the heart expand as the spine unfurls. And then slowly inhale, rise up and just draw your hands slowly behind you and just lift the heart up as you open the front of the heart. I open the channel of my heart to see clearly. And then soften the gaze down. And then we're going to switch the legs. So just uncross that left leg on top. And then let's bring that right leg on the bottom, or left leg on the bottom, right leg on top. You can bring your foot one in front of the other if that feels better, or stack the ankle above the knee above the ankle. So now let's go back to that side flow. So inhale, rise, reach to the other side, glue the hip ring down. And now inhale, rise, and over to the other side. We're going to go one more time each side. We're just going to do a little add on here just to stay on this side a little bit longer since we were seated in that other position. So now inhale one more time, reach over to the side. And just let that top hand start to float down as you look down, just maybe touching the pinky side. And then inhale, rise, reach the hand high to where it wants to go. Exhale, soften. Opening and closing the channel of your heart. We get to choose. So just let it be open here as you rise. Open one more time, closing down. And then expanding high. And let the gaze come back to neutral, and then inhale, rise. Exhale, let the other hand float down, reach down. Glue the hip ring down. And now just like before, slowly bring the outer edge of the hand down to the earth as you look down. And then inhale, expand, open, looking high. Exhale, soften. I open the channel of my heart. And maybe another time, just slowly coming down and then back high. And then let the gaze come back to the horizon in front of you. Inhale, rise, and we're going to revolve. So slowly revolve, let the hands float down. Breathe as you sit tall and ring out those inner organs. We're going to do just a little bit of balancing here for that mind. So keep that front hand wherever it's holding and just cross that rear hand on top. Just slowly soften the gaze down. As once again, we open the back channel of our hearts. And then just unthread that bottom arm. So slowly unthread it, inhale high, and then slowly revolve the other way and just move that hand that's touching the front thigh or knee, just move it where it wants to go. Now feel the lift of the crown of the head as you open up the channel to your heart, as the head, heart, hips are aligned. And now just like before, just release that rear hand, cross it over on top, slowly soften the gaze down. And now releasing any of those stories that we've been holding on to, releasing any of those judgments or opinions that we might have so that we can clear our awareness to an open heart, opening the channel of our heart. So let's slowly take off those clothes of yesterday as we reach the hands high, and then exhale, soften the hands down, let the hands melt down, and then fold gently forward. Once again, feel free to use your blocks and really direct the breath into those outer hips. And just let your body move how it wants to move here. You can do just a gentle sway if that feels good, to maybe open up a little space in the back body by the back of the hips. Shake the head, whatever feels right. As you will unfurl the spine and let the back of the heart Be open. For my daily practice, I try to give from the front of my heart, and anything that comes through, I try to send out the back of my heart. So I don't carry things that are not mine. I try to leave them to let Spirit, the Holy Spirit, to move through them so that I don't carry those burdens. So now wherever you are, come to stillness again. Slowly come on up and draw the hands one more time behind you. Create the fist maybe and look high as you open up the front heart to receive. And then exhale, let the gaze melt down. And I'll just uncross those legs. Let's just do our little windshield wiper movement. So slowly draw your feet open wider than the hips and just rock your knees side to side. We're just clearing away the rain so that there's no more rain today and we can enjoy the weather outside. A time or two with those knees moving. And then come back to the center. You can heel toe the feet back in. And then if you have that blanket underneath you, just go ahead and move that off to the side. We're gonna do a little core work here. So now draw your fist behind you. Let's slowly just draw those feet up. So we're gonna do a little twisting crunch and then we're gonna go into our boat pose. So let's slowly begin to draw the knees to one shoulder and then expand open and then draw the knees to the other shoulder. So just twist those knees side to side. Keep the spine nice and tall as the navel reaches to the spine. And breathe into those tight, sticky spaces as you break that crepitus down with your breath. Maybe two more here, if you can, each side. And then slowly draw the feet down in front of you, anchor the hips down, and then open up those knees into butterfly and just move the fluff out from underneath your bottom. Let's hold on to those front shins to whatever feels right. And then gently find your forward fold as we begin to find a little more spaciousness through those hips. I open the channel of my heart as you breathe in the love that you freely give to others. And let yourself receive it. I know that can be particularly hard for us women, that we've been taught to give it all away. But we have to learn to receive, or else we give from an empty cup. Take another breath here. And then slowly roll your body back up. Let's draw the knees up. And then we're just going to come into our boat pose. So you've got lots of options. So sitting nice and tall, shoulders over the hips. Let's start with the hands behind the thighs. And now we're just going to lean back with a nice tall spine. And then maybe lift up one foot, maybe lift up both feet. Now you get to choose. You can keep your hands there or release your hands. So this is a great place to stay. You can lengthen your legs if you wish, but we're going to do that toe tap down. So I invite you to keep the knees bent and then just gently tap one foot down at a time. Keep that breath going. If you need to send that exhale out the mouth, go ahead. Keep tapping the toes one at a time. Maybe one or two more. Finishing up. And then soften the knees or the feet down. Cross the feet at the ankles and press yourselves forward. Let's give that back body a little release. So just start to sink your hips back. Let the head pull down. Just find your child's pose. So we're going to do our flow this morning from our child's pose to that extended arm cobra. If that is not for you, you can go from child's pose into the mini cobra on your elbows. So just take your time to decide what you want to do and then just slowly begin to flow forward and back. Continuing to expand the channel of our hearts. Expand the channel of the front body and the back body to be nice and open. And maybe one more time, just flowing forward and back. Maybe you hold for just a moment in your extended arm cobra or mini cobra, wherever you are. And then sink back. And now let's come forward. We're going to come down to our forearms. So you have lots of options today. You can keep those knees on the earth, but let's walk those knees back so we make more of like a kneeling plank. So this is a great place to be, maybe to protect those shoulders a little bit. And then if you want, you can add on by lifting up the knees, flexing the feet, pushing the toes in. So we're going to do that gentle tap down one knee at a time. Just working that core a little bit more. So if you want, you can just be in your mini cobra here. Maybe one more time or two. And then when you're ready, soften the knees, release the feet back in space. Let's make the arms into the number 11 and spread those fingers wide. Let the glutes soften, let the hips be held. And now we're going to look over each shoulder just once. So looking over each shoulder, just look back in space. Inhale forward. Exhale, look over the other shoulder. Come back in space. Just notice how it felt closer to the earth. Now open up those elbows, tuck the chin, lower the forehead down. So now let's bring the hands underneath the shoulder blades, glue those elbows in. Now slowly inhale, press yourselves up, and we're going to come into our table position. So now just draw the hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. And then we're going to take that right foot, send it back in space, and then draw it back over to the left corner edge and just look over that left shoulder. And just notice if you feel anything different here now that we're a little further away from the earth. So now we're going to keep looking back, but we're just going to move the left toes to the right side. So we kind of like kickstand that knee open and then gently tuck that right knee behind the left and then sink your hips back into that cross-legged child's pose. If you wish to have a block under your head, go ahead. And now breathe into those tight, sticky spaces. I open the of my heart and allow that love to flow to those tight, sticky spaces. And now when you're ready, we're going to come on up. So take your time, slowly inhale onto your hands and your knees. Lengthen out the right leg, turn the left toes back, and then draw the right foot back. Make any minor adjustments you need to here, and then soften that right knee down. And then we'll switch sides. So now send the left toes back, lengthen that leg, and draw it over to the right corner edge and look beyond the right shoulder. Just feel that expansion as you look back. And now you can keep your gaze there for now. Let's slowly turn the right toes towards the left side, opening up that knee, and then slowly drop that left knee behind the right, slowly shift the gaze forward, and then sink your hips back. Just let the belly rest there on the thighs. I open the channel of my heart and allow that love and kindness to flow. Now coming back up onto your knees, take your time, lengthen out the left leg, turn the right toes back, and then lower, draw the left leg back, and then lower the knee down. And then we're going to come into either a puppy dog, just walking our hands forward. Actually, let's all come to puppy dog first. Let's walk our hands forward, let the heart melt down to the earth, let the forehead come down. Trying to keep the knees or the hips over those knees. And then pull the low ribs in. So either stay there, walk your hands back, take your time, and then just bring those hands at least one hand width above in front of the shoulders, flex the feet, and then lift the hips high as you start to walk out your dog. Shake out your head. Feel yourself in this inverted V posture, as if you're holding that love in your body, in your mind, as you let the heart flow down to the mind in this inversion. So when you're ready, just start to still those legs. And we're going to find your three-legged dog, just to open up the hips so you can stay on your hands and knees and just lift up the right leg and just soften that knee open to whatever degree feels right. Maybe we circle that ankle a little bit. Or maybe take this moment to look under the right arm for now. And then slowly lift up that left armpit and look back in space now. Just a gentle lift through the left armpit, neutralizing our shoulders. And then lengthen out the right leg, soften the toes down. And then let's switch sides. Lift the left leg high, three-legged dog, and then soften that knee open. Maybe circle that ankle as well. Maybe start with the gaze looking under the left shoulder. And then gently neutralize the gaze, gentle lift up through the right armpit. Look back in space. Now lift the left leg high, turn the toes down, soften the foot down. So now let's soften those knees, sink our hips back. And then you get to choose how you get to the front edge of your mat into your forward fold, step, hop, walk. However you wish to get there, just find your gentle forward fold and shake that head out. So you can either wrap your hands on your elbows or bring the right hand back behind the right calf and then reach for the front of the shin. Do the same thing with the left arm if that feels right. And just breathe here as you feel the head softening down. Feel the hips supporting you. And just notice if your forearms are behind the calves, just notice how they're crossed, because we're going to switch. Is the right hand closer to yours, the left? Just notice. And then uncross the hands. And then let's slowly inhale, active back extension, plug the fingertips in, L-shaped body. You can draw the hands to the hips or to the letter T as you soften the knees. And then inhale, rise. Upward hand salute, just a gentle mini back bend, looking high, gentle looking back. And then melt the hands down to meet the heart. And now swan dive, forward fold, inhale, rise, soften the knees, hinge at the hips, lower the head down. And let's do that cross one more time. If you did that, or wrap your hands the opposite way. So now left hand comes behind the calf first and reaches for the right shin. Then the right hand reaches behind and reaches for the left shin. Maybe our arms crossed can represent our opinions that we're letting go of to open the channel of our hearts. So now as you break those arms free, open up the channel of your heart. Inhale, active back extension. Exhale, soften, fold forward. Then we're going to take the right foot, take a big step back, wiggle those toes back. Just walk the hands underneath the shoulders, maybe use your blocks if you wish here. And then let's slowly revolve. So glue the right hand underneath the shoulder, reach the left hand high, expand the channel of your heart from the earth to the sky. And now exhale, soften that hand down. Let's take a moment to sink back just to find a little length through the hamstrings to whatever degree is right. Keep a soft knee. Then a gentle turning forward with the right hip reaching forward, left hip reaching back. And now soften that front knee. Now here, if you wish, you can use your blocks and maybe stay a little bit closer to the earth and just come to your fingertips. Or if you'd like, you can come all the way high, if that feels right. We're going to do an optional strength progression here, so you get to choose. You can stay just as you are. So maybe melt the hands to the heart to just give you a little more stability as you send the hands to the heart with that nice open channel of your heart. Now soften that right knee down, just barely tap the earth and then back up. Maybe a few times here. Maybe 2 or 3 more. And now lengthen out the rear leg. Let's draw the hands to the hips and lengthen out the front leg. Let the rear heel soften down, just that exalted pyramid pose. Challenging our balance even here. So now soften the front knee. We're going to pivot the rear foot. So preparing for our warrior 2, and then expand those arms open. Expand the channel of your heart here. Let's turn our palms, open us to receive. Let the shoulders drop down. And as we're here, turn the palms down and then check on the front knee. Let's do a little check, making sure the inner edge of the knee is pressing towards the pinky toe side. And then glue that right outer foot to the edge of the mat. Lift the inner arch. And now let's slowly inhale up with the hands. Wrap the right thumb and index finger around the left wrist. Press the left palm high at that traction. And then gently lift, drift back, and maybe look back. Feel the side body, that front side body expand here. So now slowly release the gaze, release the hands back to the letter T. Inhale, lengthen out the front leg, keeping that space we just created in that front side body. Let's reach out from our hip to find our triangle pose. And see if you can stack the shoulders. So as you stack the shoulders, gently turn those low left ribs gently forward, opening that heart. As you feel the expansion of the openness through the channels of your heart. And now on your inhale, engaging the core, draw your body up. Keeping that front leg long, let's flex the foot so the toes are turned up, and then pivot the toes. So now we're in our straddle position. Now turn your body to the side edge of the mat. Let's Lower the hands down behind the back, interlock the hands, slowly charge the knuckles down, look high. Feel the shoulder blades melt together as you feel that open channel of your heart to the sky. Now maybe you want to stay here today or soften the hands down, slowly begin to hinge. So soften the gaze, hinge from the hips, lead with the heart. Let the head melt down and then maybe reach those arms up. Just breathe through the space of the inner thighs as you open the channel of your heart and let it flow down to your mind to let go of any opinions, let go of any judgments. And now soften the hands down to the low back, unlock the fingers. We're going to take our yogi stroll back forward. So slowly pivot that front foot and then let the rear foot pivot with it. Take this moment here to just breathe. And then really soften that rear knee, that right knee. Take that big step forward into our forward fold. We're going to do a little expansion still here. So now just lift up that right foot to the sky into that needle pose. Circle that ankle. And then slowly begin to bend, soften, lower that right foot down. We're going to grab our blocks if we have them, bring them in front on that tall setting. And then cross the right foot in front of the left and block the blocks there underneath the shoulders. So now just a gentle rock, draw the right hip forward and then back, keeping the knees soft. And just breathe through that outer left thigh, through that IT band. Maybe another rock or two, just wagging your tail. And then draw your hips back. Let's uncross the right leg, walk the blocks back. You can frame your feet again with the blocks, soften the gaze down. Do that gentle cross with the forearms again. So reaching the right hand behind the calf for the front left shin, reaching the left hand under, behind, reaching for the right shin, just soften the gaze down, shake the head out. And the arms cross is us breaking free of our opinions, our judgments, any of our beliefs that we are holding on to that limit the potential of God in us. So as you open those arms, release those judgments, opinions, open the channel of your heart. And then let's inhale, active back extension, nice L-shaped body. Hands come back to the hips or out to the T, soften the knees, inhale, rise. Mini or upward hand salute, just gentle look back, mini back bend. Exhale, melt the hands down to the heart. Into our swan dive forward fold, inhale, rise, swan dive forward fold, bend at the knees, hinge at the hips. So now we're gonna step the left foot back. So let's take our time, step the left foot back, wiggle those toes back there. And then we're gonna gently revolve. So just stack that knee right over that right ankle. Draw the left hand fist underneath the shoulder. Expand the channel of your heart from the earth to the sky. See if you can open and expand the fingertips so it really reaches out through you. And now exhale, soften the hand down. And let's slowly exhale, sink the hips back, pyramid pose. Now left hip draws forward, right hip draws back. Now take your time, slowly soften, bend the front knee. Maybe you use your blocks and you stay here closer to the earth, that's great. So maybe you just come to your fingertips or maybe you come high. Breathe here and find your stability again. Check the front knee over the ankle, out the second and third toes. So now maybe draw the hands to the heart to center you as you seal this into your heart with the open heart channel. Let's do a little strength if you'd like. Just soften that rear knee down and then back up. So doing it about 7-8 times. Just a few more. Finishing off whenever you're done. Slowly lower the hands to the hips. Slowly extend the front leg. Exalted pyramid pose. Lower the rear heel. Shift, feel those hips shining forward. So now soften, bend the front knee. Slowly pivot the rear foot. So now we're opening up into our warrior two. Expand the channels of your heart. Let's receive that love we give to others. Turn the palms up. So we breathe in the strength and power that we are. Turn the palms down and just do a subtle check. Checking the front knee again. Checking the rear foot, anchoring in that outer edge of the foot, lifting the inner arch. Just feel the heart, hips, and head all aligned. Now inhale up with those arms. Take that left thumb and index finger, wrap it around the right wrist. Press the right palm high. Add that traction and then gently drift back, looking back. In front of, behind the arm, whatever's right for you. Now feel that space being created in the front side body. So now begin to release the gaze. Let the arms release. Let's lengthen out the front leg. Let's move into our triangle. Slowly reach out from the hip. Find your support on the shin, on the block. Stack the shoulders. You can come a little lower or higher if you want, whatever you need. And then gently turn the low right ribs forward. So it's a gentle shift, turning the right ribs forward, turning the heart forward. Just breathe and be here now. Feeling the channels of the heart open from the earth to the sky. Now while engaging the core, draw your body up. Draw the arms to the letter T. Let's flex the right foot, turn the toes to the sky, and then pivot the foot so now both feet are parallel. So now melt the hands down, interlock the hands with that nice awkward grip, charge those knuckles down, look high, open the heart. Breathe here. So maybe you stay here or just like before, soften the hands, hinge with the hips, lead with the heart, fold down towards the earth, and then reach the arms overhead. Let the wisdom from the heart flow down to the mind to break free of those judgments, break free of those opinions, to send out that loving kindness. After all, we can't give what we don't have, so we practice to cultivate it for ourselves, and then we give it away. Feel that beautiful breath, that love note to yourself, just moving through those inner thighs. And then let the hands soften down and back. Let the hands come down to the earth. And we're going to take our yogi stroll forward. So take your time, slowly pivot the front foot and then let the rear foot follow. Just be here for a moment. Feel that strength and power through the rear leg. And then when you're ready, we're going to press off the toes, take our step forward and just walk the blocks forward. And then we'll lower the hands or keep our hands on the blocks, whatever's for us. Let's lift the left leg high into that needle pose. Expand that wisdom from the earth to the sky again, through the legs, through the hips. Now soften that left foot down and then turn your blocks to that higher setting in front of your feet. Bring your hands on top. And then let's slowly cross the left ankle in front of the right. Walk the blocks over under the shoulders. And now let's rock the hips to the left corner edge and then back. Soften those knees as much as you need. Send the beautiful breath through that outer right thigh. Just another time or two, swaying those hips. And then still the movement, walk your blocks back as you uncross the legs, breaking free of those opinions and judgments. You can soften the blocks down, soften the head down, let your body fold down. So one more time, crossing the arms. So starting with the left arm, reaching behind the calf, reaching for the right shin, then the right hand follows, reaching under, and for the left shin. Let the head fold down, shake it out. With the open back of the heart. Just breathe in. I open the channel of my heart. As you uncross the arm, break free of those judgments, opinions, anything holding you back. Let's take our final final active back extension. Inhale, fingertips to the shins. Now reach out to the T, soften the knees. Inhale, rise. Upward hand salute, mini back bend. And then exhale, melt the hands down to the heart, gently soften, fold down, swan dive, fold forward. And then we'll step back, just stepping onto our knees. So just step the right foot back, coming onto our knee, and then left foot back. We're gonna grab our blocks because we're gonna come into our camel pose to kind of close us off. So let's start to flex both feet and then bring the blocks, if you have them, outside of the ankles. So feel free to add support underneath those knees. So let's bring our hands to our hips. So let's start with that right hand reaching high and then just glue that fist, that left fist, into the low back. So breathe here. Now, as you're here, you can stay here or maybe let that left hand come to the block or to the ankle, to the heel. Breathe. Feel the hips shine forward. And then slowly exhale, release the gaze, lower the right hand down to the earth. Let's thread the left arm underneath and relax the feet back. Let the left side of the face rest on the mat. Bring that right arm where it wants to go, maybe behind you, reaching forward, whatever it wants to do. So now wherever the right hand is, draw it underneath the shoulder, slowly inhale back to your table. And then you can begin to flex the feet again, walk your hands back. Let's bring our hands to our hips and then just bring both hands to the low back. Just create those fists. So now we'll draw the left hand high and look high. And maybe you just stay here. Keep pressing those toes into the earth. Spread the fingers wide. Maybe stay here or draw the right fingertips back to the black ankle, heel. Keep the hips shining forward. I open the channel of my heart. And then slowly melt the gaze down. Slowly lower the left hand down to the earth under the shoulder. Reach the right hand out to the side and then thread it underneath the left arm, rest on the side of your face. Let the feet relax back and then take the left arm where it wants to go. Just breathe and be here now. So now wherever the left hand is, just lower it on down. Slowly inhale, unthread the right arm. We're going to cross our feet at our ankles. You may need to move those blocks forward first. Keep one close by. We're going to use one for our supported bridge. So let's slowly come on back, sitting back. And then we're going to roll on down however you wish to go down. You get to choose slow, controlled movement coming on down. And then just lengthen out that body. Expand the fingers, expand the toes. And then slowly draw the knees in, just rock, just massage that low back, maybe circle the knees, maybe find your happy baby. Get this release before we come into our supported bridge. We're going to allow our bodies, we're going to allow our temples to be the bridge for others to see the light. So now just soften the feet down. So your knees are nice and bent, having your block nearby, grabbing your block. Let's bring our hands alongside of the hips, anchor in those shoulder blades. Feet are hip distance apart, spread and feel the feet ground in. Feel the roots spread wide, deep, far. And now while keeping the ankles or the knees above the ankles, let's lift the hips high. And then bring your support underneath you to end our class. We're going to stay here in our supported bridge. So you get to choose. You can maybe turn your palms up here to open your palms to receive or keep them down, whatever feels right. So now just let yourself be here and feel that support beneath you. As you continue to open the channel of your heart. As you breathe that love in and allow that love from your heart to flow through every fiber and cell of your being. And just see if you can let your body soften even more down now into the support, into the block beneath you, into the feet under you, well, under your knees, into the shoulders, into the back of the palms, into the back of the head. And now just let yourself rest here and be held here. Nothing left to do, just be. And I just have this gentle prayer to kind of close our class as we rest here. God, today help me set aside everything I think I know about you, everything I think I know about myself, everything I think I know about others, everything I think I know about my healing, for a new experience in myself, a new experience in all others.
And as we take these last few breaths here, just let all the final gripping through the cheeks, through the jaw, let it all go. And find that softness, that stillness. And now just return to your breath, breathe in nice and deep. Feel the belly rise, and then exhale, soften the belly. Maybe turn the palms down. Let's take a moment to just massage the back on the block. So just draw the knees up if that feels right, just massaging the tops of the hips. And then still the knees, soften the feet down one at a time. Slowly lift the hips off the block. Maybe one more time, just drawing the knees in and rolling. Rocking. And we're just going to revolve to kind of close out class. So let's open up the arms and then draw the knees to the right. Pause, breathe, feel the shoulders anchor out and down. Now let the inhale, draw your gaze up, engage the core, draw the knees up. Exhale, let the knees drift to the left. We're going to stay to the left. And then slowly draw that left arm up and slowly roll to your side and rest there for this moment. Now, as you look down to the heart, as you open the channel of your heart and feel that connection to the earth beneath you, holding the side of your heart, coming from the nourishment beneath you. Slowly press your palm in, slowly press your body up, let the head stack last. Find your nice, easy seated cross position. And then move the fluff out, anchor the fingertips in, sit tall, head, heart, hips aligned. Now as we flip the palms, we breathe in. I open the channel of my heart as I look high. Let that seal down as your hands come together and melt down, lowering down through the mind, through the words, and plant that deep into the heart. Feel the heart reach for those thumbs as you melt the gaze down. I spread the loving kindness that I cultivated here today. Namaste. Slowly lift the gaze when you're ready. Thank you all. Appreciate you guys.